What's up, YouTube? So I'm working on this Hyundai Entourage, and if you look on the transmission pan, you can see it's all wet and it's been dripping transmission fluid. So see all here is wet by that tow hook, by the lower radiator hose. So on further inspection, when I look on the transmission cooling line right here, that's where the leak is coming from. So if I were to wipe that off, if I were to dry it off and just keep looking at it, it'll actually get wet and start dripping again. You can see my glove is pretty dry. Put my hand on top of it, right up here. I could feel the flat spot. There you go, see? It's getting wet again. You can see that. So that's where the leak is coming from. And when you come to the front, you can see the lines. Those are the two lines. It goes to the transmission cooler, and if you follow those lines, that's where it goes back and goes to that location where it's leaking. So from here, I'm going to be taking off this upper cover, and all you need for that is a Phillips head screwdriver. Just gotta back these out, and they're plastic, so they're pretty easy to get out. And that's what they look like. Plastic. And all you gotta do is pick this up. Comes off as one piece. Out of the way. And I've already went ahead and removed the battery plate. I removed the air box that sits right here. And that's it, sitting on top of the engine. And the cover I just removed, all that does is expose the radiator, and now I'm able to see down where the leak is coming from. So now I'll have some access to get to that line. You can see the line right here. But to get me even better access, I need to get this upper part of the bumper off, the grill. I need to get that off. So in order for me to gain access to take the grill off, I gotta first take the headlight out. And to take that out is just one 10mm bolt. $10 Actually, it's 2 bolts. I took the other one out already. And that one is right here. And the second one is right here by the grill. And once that's out, it's just to hold the light, slide it forward, pops right out. Then we have the connectors. Just squeeze, unplug, squeeze, unplug. Same here. That out. The assembly's out. Just tuck these out of the way. And now I gotta take this 10mm bolt out. And I took it off with the bracket that the headlight slides in. Then I gotta take these two plastic screws out. So once I separate these, I just pop them back in when I'm done, and I store them like that. When I'm ready to reinstall them, I push it out or back it out and install this piece first. Make sure the tabs go in the hole, and then screw this back in. Sometimes they're a little hard to come out. You gotta kind of push on the bottom of it. Now the bumper is almost there. Now there's another screw right here, but in order to get that, you got to go from the wheel well. Okay, so at the wheel well, you're gonna see a little opening. I believe that's it right here, and you got to take that bolt out. I did it on the other side already, but it was actually easier on the other side. This is all rusted. Here we go. That's out. You can see the bumper. Now the bumper is moving. So now we head to the bottom, and all these plastic screws got to come out, and these go all around the bumper at the bottom. So got to back that out. And once again, these line the entire bottom of the bumper. So all these have to come out. See, all across. I've already gotten this side, and that bolt that would be up there in the wheel well will be right there, right up in there. Got that one out. So once we double check that all the bolts that holds the bumper are indeed removed, and don't forget this one. This is one of the main ones on the side right here, right by the arch in the wheel well. And like I showed earlier, to get to it is through this little opening right here. And once you go through the opening, the bolt is sitting right there. You take that out. Everything is out, unhooked. Same thing on the other side. Headlights out. All the bolts are out. And the same thing at the bottom. Bottom under here. Everything is out. All across from left to right. And now it's just a matter of grabbing hold of the bumper and taking it out. So now the bumper is completely off. Now once the bumper is off, now I got access to the transmission cooler, and that's this piece right here, which it looks fine. It's not rusted or anything. The rubber lines, they seem fine. Come down to the bottom. This section, it's rusted, but it's not that bad really. But over on this side is where we have the leak. You could see that bottom line is all wet, and that's exactly where it's leaking. So if we trace it, it's this one right here, and goes right here. I'll try to see if I could get both. I'll check the dealer, see if they carry it. If not, I gotta figure out something else. But that's where the leak is coming from. So I'm trying to get the best angle I can, and I just want to make sure that hose clamp, I could loosen it and slacken the hose. So I'm going in from where the battery was. Just gonna grab a hold of the clamp, squeeze. Okay, so this line moves, so I'll be able to take that off. Same thing over here, it's the same thing. So on this side, I come in from below the bumper. Just take this clamp off, squeeze the line, turn it. Okay, that's turning. And now I just got to take this clamp, well, the bolt that holds this retaining clamp on. I believe it is 10. It's just has a lot of rust on it. And it's actually so rusted that the nut in the back of it is turning. The nut is turning, and it's a welded nut. It's a welded nut and it's turning. So now I gotta figure out how to get in there and try to hold it. That's how I had to hold it to back it out. And I have my drain pan under it. So once I come back up top, try to move this clamp. Oh, shaking the camera. Trying to move this clamp out of the way. Use my other plier. And most of these jobs could be done in much less time, but I try to get you guys real good shots. So a lot of times I'm in some very awkward positions trying to do things, like right now. But the idea is to grab this clamp and move it away from the metal line so that you could pull the line out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the camera out of the way so I could do that. Okay, so after getting the hose off, well, the line, that's what it looks like. look. And that's how it sits in the vehicle. The front goes up in the cooler, and that goes to the line, to the tranny. But if you look at it, let's see if I could get a decent shot. Right here is where it's leaking. So you could see the damage in the line right there. There we go. And that's where it's leaking. So after checking with the dealer and find out that this line is about $200, I'm gonna go with this option, which is, this is a transmission line, so it's rated for high pressure. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take it directly from the cooler. So I'm gonna take this off, connect it directly to the cooler, loop it down around, and bring it through right here. And this is where it ends up at the bottom. This is it right here. So I'll take this clamp off, take the hose off, and just run one solid rubber line from the cooler directly to this point. This is the best shot I'm pretty much gonna get. Just gotta go up in here. You can see my plier right here. Grab that hose clamp, which is all rusted. Push up and just try to get that clamp loose and get the hose off. There it goes. Actually, I thought it would have been much more difficult. So now I come around and take it out. And from here, I'm just gonna loop my line around. And I'm gonna do all that from the top. That's the only way I'm gonna get a good shot. So I got my hose line up. I got the clamp on. Now I just gotta try to line it up and snap it on. Okay, so you can see right here, it's on. Now I slide the clamp. Slide the clamp on. And now all I gotta do is tighten on this screw on the clamp to tighten it up. So now that I got the bottom hose on with the clamp, I just got to go and connect the other end to the transmission cooler. And all I did, I just routed the line through here. I followed the original path, cut it to length with enough slack, and I'll just undo this clamp. Just twist this line, get it loose. Just want to twist this off. off. I'm not going to reuse these clamps. I'm just going to put new ones. And here I've got fuel line clamps. Regular hose clamps is perfectly fine. Okay, so that's up nice and snug. Tighten on the clamp. It's nice and snug. That's one line, and pretty much just repeat the process for the other line. So this is it. New line, clamps all the way down in the bottom, same thing. Got some zip ties. View from the front. You can see here I have zip ties, hold the lines here, here. Now I wasn't able to reuse the original clamp, so this is pretty much what I came up with. So you can see I put the original clamp back, but I put it in backwards. That way the sharp edge is designed to sit on the metal pipe, which is smaller, and not the actual hose. So I flipped it around where the round part is touching the hose right here, and I zip tied it in. Put a few zip ties. It might be overkill, but at least it's secure. And you see I routed around, and here it goes up. Right up into the transmission cooler. So now I got the vehicle running. I just got to check on my connections, make sure I have no leaks. That's one. That looks good. This is the same one, just a different angle. And that looks good also. These lines, nice and clean. Nothing. Now I'm at the bottom of the vehicle. No leaks, no drips. So everything looks good. Now I'll shut it off, and I'll put the bumper back on. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.